Hello friends, my name is Nitin Osgare. In the last video, we have seen the basics of machine learning, that is, why machine learning is used, what are the advantages of using the machine learning, what is machine learning, and what are the applications of machine learning. So in this video, we will discuss the training versus testing phase in the machine learning modeling. Okay, so first, before we understand the training and testing phase, let us first discuss the train data set and the test data set. For example, if we have been given a sample data set of size 100 emails, okay, and these emails are basically labeled. So the label of sample data are known to us. So each sample is either have this label spam or non-spam. Okay. Now, then we have created the two instances of this 100 email. So the first instance of this original data set, which contains 75 emails, and this first instance will be used to create or to construct or to build the machine learning model. And hence, this first instance is referred as the train data set. The second instance of this original data set, which contains 25 emails, this instance will be used to evaluate the quality of the built machine learning model using the train data set. And hence, this second instance is referred as the test data set. Remember, doesn't matter whether it is a train data set or a test data set, that is first instance of original data set or a second instance of original data set, the labels of both these instances are known to us. So I know the labels of all the samples in the test data set, and I would know the labels of all the samples in the train data set. Now let us move to the training versus testing phase. So we know that the machine learning algorithm, it goes through two states, training phase and the testing phase. So what is training phase? In a training phase, the training data is given as an input to the learning model for the process of training, which is shown in the first part of this figure. The output of this training process of machine learning algorithm is basically the machine learning model, which is shown here. So in this process of training, the data is accepted and the machine learning algorithm, it generates the machine learning model. So training error is said to be occurred when the actual output and the predicted output for the training data are not same. And it is always denoted by the symbol E in, which refers as input error. So the learning model is ideally supposed to result in the zero training error or at least minimum training error. The next phase in this figure is the testing phase. So in the testing phase, the test data is given as an input to the machine learning model, which we have constructed using the train data set. So now we give the test data as an input to the machine learning model to test the quality of the output of the learning model. For test data, the output is predicted by the learning model. Now, test data is basically completely unknown to learning model because the learning model is constructed by processing the training data. The test data is completely unseen and unknown data to the learning model. And here it is the fact that there should not be any common instances between the training data and the test data. So to test the learning model, it is applied on the test data. And when the test error will be occurred, a test error is said to be occurred when the actual output and the predicted output are different, for instance, in the test data. And the train error is always denoted by the symbol capital E out, subscripts out, which refers as output error. Now we'll see what are the good characteristics of a good learning model, or simply the characteristics of a good learning model. So the first characteristics of the good learning model, it says that the training error and the test error, it must be very close to each other. That is, the performance of learning model on training data and the test data must be same. The second characteristic of a good learning model, it says that the test error should be approaching towards zero. Now in this figure, you can observe that we have shown the output error and the input error across the x and y axis. Now here it is important to note that the train error or the input error and the test error, that is the output error, they are always affected by the size of training data, which is shown in this figure. So you can easily observe here, that is, when the size of the data across the x-axis, when it is less, then the train error and the test error both have the huge values and they are approaching basically towards the infinity. You can see here. So when the size of the data is very less, then the test error and train error, they are basically approaching towards the infinity. That is, the difference between them will be very huge. As the value of the data size, that is n, when it is increased across the x-axis, then you can find that the train error and test error, they are gradually reduced and they are approaching towards the zero. So if the training data or the test data, if they contains the noise, then they will never have a zero error. But it is always expected that the difference between the test error and the train error, it must be as small as possible. In such case, the learning model is said to have good generalization. So the train error and test error, both are mostly affected by the complexity of learning model. Okay, so you can easily see here. So this x-axis, it represents the complexity of model. So sorry, the size of the size of the data. As the size of the data increases, the complexity of the model will also start increasing. So the train error and test error, you can say that they are mostly affected by the complexity of learning model. So if a learning model is expressed as some equation, then the complexity of model is basically the degree of that equation. Now we'll see this effect of model's complexity. So the effect of model's complexity is represented here in this figure. So this figure basically explains very important concept called as the bias variance trade-off. Now the model complexity can also be alternatively represented using the other concept called as VC dimension. So in this figure, you can see that if the train error, which is indicated as E in, or which is indicated with the orange line, and the test error is indicated with the green line. So if E in and E out both are huge, that is approaching towards infinity, then the learning model is said to have the high bias. This is also called as underfitting of model. If E in, that is the train error, if it is approaching towards zero, and E out, that is the test error, which is approaching towards infinity, then the learning model is said to have the high variance. This is also called as overfitting of model. So if the bias is increased, then the variance will increase. And if the variance is decreased, then the bias will be increased. So this phenomenon is called as bias variance trade-off. So it is expected that the good learning model should have the good bias variance trade-off. That is, not too high or too low bias or variance. If a learning model has high bias, then it is underfitting, and we can say that it is of not good quality. If a learning model has high variance, then it is overfitting and it is also not a good quality. Then what is the good quality of a machine learning model? If a learning model is neither overfitting nor underfitting, then it is a good quality and the model is said to be a right fitting model. So the good characteristic of a learning model is to have the proper balance between train error and test error, that is E in and E out. In such case, the learning model is said to have the low bias and low variance, both. So the after early stopping criteria, which is denoted here in this figure with the yellow dotted line, if the model complexity is increased, if the model's complexity is increased, then there is a small decrease in train error, that is E in, which results in huge increase in test error. So in such cases, the learning model is said to have the high variance, or the model will result into overfitting. So what is the ideal uh, values of the train error and test error? Yes. So early stopping criteria will give us the ideal combination of the train error and test error. Okay. So I hope you have enjoyed this video as well. These are the references for this presentation. If you have any doubt, or if you have any query, you can write me to this email ID, or you can also reach out me to this contact number. So thank you once again for patiently listening this video. See you soon in the next video. Thank you.